computer, and you were also sitting here chomping on some chewing gum. And I felt like that was distracting, although that would be very appropriate to do if C.Y. Long was up here. And during the meeting, you also took the lead role to write the table topic participant's name on the board. So perhaps next time you could make sure you delegate that to the TME or the table topics master so they can take the role up, because it's a bit distracting walking over here. So moving right into the evaluation, my role as the GE is to only evaluate those people that have not already been evaluated. So I'll go straight to the table topics evaluator. Matt, let me find my evaluation here. Sorry, I can't even find it. I'll just make a note here. You had a very high energy level when you came up here, and you went straight to the point. Good that you suggested that the table topics must explain the roles, because we have several guests here that need to know that. So Matt, it would have been good if you had went ahead and explained that role. And during your evaluations, if you could focus on whether or not each table topic speaker presented an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, and whether or not they achieved those, and how good that you covered it in bits and pieces, but you didn't state it specifically, introduction, body, and conclusion. Moving right along, I'll just go straight to the speeches, and then I'll cover some of the facilitate. Well, I'll stop there and go to the guest introduction. The guest introduction was by who was that?
Mandela.
Yes, yes, already left. Very good. She greeted me at the beginning when I came here, getting things set up, and she had me sign the guest list, and very good introduction to each one of the guests as well. Job well done. So moving to the speeches, the workshop session. Lawrence, you had a very good and meaningful presentation here. It was such excellent, well-prepared visual aids. You covered the key points of the lifts, traffic accidents, and also fires. And incidentally, Lawrence, I was here when the Golly building fire happened just right here in Jordan. In fact, my mother from USA rang me to see if I was alive and well. And I remember that. So I remember seeing the helicopters overhead on the news that day. And Lawrence, I think that your audience this evening will go home tonight with a very good appreciation of the firemen of Hong Kong and what they do. And so, Lawrence, how could you improve your speech? Well, it's a common problem that everyone shared is that you don't have a remote control for your slide presentation. If you had that, and secondly, Lawrence, there were times you stood over here. It was great that you stood over here to give the audience a clear view of the presentation, but you tend to avoid your audience here on the right, eye-to-eye and facial contact. Overall job well done, Lawrence. Second speaker, Shirley Chang. Shirley, excellent choice of speech title. You're very humorous in your opening remarks. Very good facial expressions, coupled with such a cheerful graphic presentations here. Excellent brief coverage of both the practical and the technical aspects. And I particularly liked how you explained the key elements. You integrated your audience in your speech with the Q&A session, and you kept the audience well involved in your speech. It was, so how could you improve this speech, Shirley? Perhaps when you took the time to write this down, I didn't fully understand this. I like to think of these numbers here in terms of teaspoons of sugar. So
glucose.
If you could somehow integrate that on a slide here and make it more colorful, because the starch, we think of maybe a bowl of rice, a potato, a carrot, and so forth, then it might be more easily to receive for the audience on the technical aspects of it. But all in all, I think your audience tonight will take home their new knowledge of health and nutrition, which you shared with us this evening. The third speaker, Daphne, unique loving gift. You also very boldly integrated the audience in with your speech tonight, because we all did the same exercise together. You started out by asking if you also asked for a volunteer and got audience participation in one and then the whole group. I think tonight the audience will take home with them, I hear, I forget, I see, I do not understand, and I do, I remember. So definitely, how could you improve that? It was a bit time consuming at the beginning when it seemed a bit clumsy trying to put the Scotch tape on that gift you had there, the sunshine gift. So perhaps if you could have one already prepared, have two, and then take it apart and show how it unfolds, it might be a bit quicker like that, just in the interest of time. And also work on time control. We didn't get the timers report, so where am I at now? Okay, KF, how can I evaluate the master of Toastmastering Hong Kong? KF. KF, excellent opening remarks, very good graphical presentation for your slideshow, and it was very creative the way you built up the key points, starting from the bottom and moving up. Very good physical gestures. You stood over here, such great body language, natural flow, warm smile, good voice projection. So KF, how could you have improved that? It's just the same thing. You needed a remote control.
Oh.
And some of the slides had the dark blue background, which we all know. There's no need for me to drill you on that. I think that you have, I have to read this out. You have elusively motivated your audience to take an active role in Toastmastering to achieve multiple aspects of self-improvement. Now, if I could say that without reading it, but I'm not you. Okay? Moving on, Grace. Grace, great speech, DIY tour. You also integrated the audience into your speech. At the very beginning, you asked them a question. You got a few responses and a few elaboration. Excellent preparation of your colors, slide projections here. We could all relate to it because you covered different geographic areas of the world and shared personal experiences with that. Grace, how could you improve your speech? It would just be that if you had a laser LED pinpointer, you could stand here and point instead of having to totally turn your back on the audience and go over here like this so they just see your back instead of your smiling face. Okay? I think in the interest of time, we all want to go home.
Okay, thank you.